Hey guys, welcome to Game On. I'm Laurie.
I'm Simon.
And this week I'm going to be looking at open world games and answering the question, are they really secretly just a bit rubbish?
And I went to BlizzCon a couple of weeks ago for reasons unbeknown to me, and so I've got my little report on that.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
I'm gonna go first, so...
Oh!
I'll talk first, so if you just...
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. No,
yeah,
I'll,
cool, just stuff.
Yeah.
Just that, yeah. Okay, yeah, right, so...
Can't actually get out that way, so just...
Mate. So there's something I kind of want to get off my chest this week. I've been playing a whole bunch of open world games from AC Unity, GTA 5 to Far Cry 4, and I've just kind of become convinced that open world games are secretly just a bit rubbish. Don't get me wrong, I love tooling around in a sandbox, harassing the Parisians in AC, trying to fly a hand glider up the back of an elephant, that sort of stuff. But it's the actual game bit of open world games that I struggle with. Firstly, the stories are always completely disjointed affairs. Your ability to just wander off and finish a load of side quests often takes all of the pacing out of the central narrative and leaves the meaning really muddled. It's like one of those choose-your-own-adventure books, but at the end of every chapter, it tells you to go read the complete collected works of Jean-Paul Sartre, Clifford the Big Red Dog, and then you're allowed to turn to page 17. And the other thing is, how many of these side missions are complete bobbins? How many towers do I have to climb to fill out a map? Does nobody have Google in Karat? Making a massive open world means that developers feel forced to fill it full of stuff. And while there's usually loads of awesome things to do, like liberate the outposts in Far Cry 4, there's usually loads of filler, and it often goes like this. Simon, come here. Can you get me that thing, please? That thing,
yeah.
The one, you know the one, that one. Yeah, that one, yeah. No, what's that? Why'd you bring me that? I don't want. That's not what I wanted. Go get me the other thing. I'm trying to be an assassin or a freedom fighter, not a courier. Although I'm sure the train simulator crowd would love UPS the game. Copy-pasting missions and assets kind of goes with the open world territory, but why not have a smaller world that feels fuller and richer rather than a massive one just full of fetch quests? But obviously the big draw with open worlds is the emergent gameplay, the story specific to your experience and your playthrough. But again, all those systems impact the missions and the flow. In Far Cry 4, there's no end of convoys to stop, animals to hunt, and firefights just breaking out. But when you're trying to do something super specific, like stealthily take over a base and a tiger just shows up looking for a hug, it's really frustrating to be kicked back to a checkpoint 3 kilometers away, because it turns out the puss wasn't just looking for a belly rub. Games like Far Cry 4 feel like they have to walk a really slim wire, and they've got 2 feet that just want to go in opposite directions. And sometimes tottering precariously along that line is the most exhilarating thing ever, but mostly, for me, I just fall off.
So here I present to you a blagger's guide to BlizzCon. This is everything, well, some of, what you need to know about a thing that by all accounts shouldn't exist, but exist it does, and it is massive.
So, first off, BlizzCon takes place in Anaheim, California, which is home to Disneyland and also home to the Anaheim Ducks of the NHL, which, by the way, is a brilliant way to spend an evening.
BlizzCon started back in 2005 for Blizzard Entertainment to show off their insanely popular franchises like StarCraft and World of Warcraft, but has also become the home of their esports. Here is what a StarCraft 2 match looks like. Yeah. Elsewhere, the battle between Jesus and nerds raged on outside the arena. Inside, though, you find massive Get out of the way! Jeez. You'll also find PCs. Rows and rows and rows of PCs. Unlike other gaming events, BlizzCon is really about playing games, and there is plenty of opportunity to do that. It is also mainly a platform for people from Blizzard to talk about their games. This happens a lot. And I mean a lot. It's mainly what happens. Other than that, there is loads of food, obviously, and other things like getting a temporary tattoo, because they're the coolest tattoos. You can get your face painted, although he looks like he's not quite sure what's happening to him. And you can get forced by your girlfriend to take a picture on a green screen. And you can dress up and just hang out with these 2 dudes.
These sorts of things are odd though, not just BlizzCon, but all these sorts of events. On the surface, they're a cultural celebration, a chance for people to come together and nerd out about a thing that they're normally made to feel ostracised about in wider culture. It's a thin veil though for an entirely commercial venture, pay money for the game, pay money for some DLC, pay money for a ticket to come see the game you've already paid money for, then pay some more money for the things we present to you at the event. It's little wonder the Jesus people think this is a cult, and they'd know. Gaming has become the apex of capitalism. Corporations normally have a hold of people's wallets, and gaming corporations also have a hold of their social interactions, their emotions and their thoughts. On one side of this coin is just people really loving the product, but the other side of that coin is something a little creepier.